I have secured the prize.
Oh, God.
It's the Abyss from Legends.
And all it cost me was a resurrection and my pride.
What the
Now all that is left is to summon my champions Bryant Cook, moderately anonymous aka Dan, Jen from the Filthy Casuals, and Brian Coval aka Bosch and Roll in the Iron Deck Grand Championship. And so we arrive at the Tournament of Champions. Please introduce yourselves.
I'll go first since I got here first. I'm playing, I am Jen, one half of the Filthy MTG Casuals. I am going to go ahead and play Cassetto today. Cassetto allows me to make my creatures unblockable, which is something I want to.
I am Bryant Cook of the Epic Storm, and I will be playing Rograk Silas.
I'm Dan, moderately anonymous MTG, and I'm playing Tibbet, Seller of Secrets.
I am Bosch and Roll, aka Brian Coval of the Bosch and Roll channel, and I'll be playing Timna Krom Blue Farm.
And so now we will randomize to see the position.
Perfect.
Ooh,
Good job.
Shitty.
Boo. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Let's make sure Brian doesn't win.
Good luck. Let the tournament commence.
Well, folks, you put me in the right seat because I'm going to mulligan this hand that has Gemstone Caverns in it.
Oh, man, this would be a goated hand if it had a land in it, but it does not. We're going to mull.
All right, I guess we're mulliganing out of order. I will also mulligan.
I'm keeping.
I will be looking at my second 7.
Samesies. I'm going to keep my second 7.
I will also keep my second 7.
Not sure how I feel about this. I'm going to go to 6. Jen, did you just snap keep first 7?
No, I did too, but I guess
Okay.
I kind of did it earlier.
Yeah. Tough decision.
You'll just draw a good card on your first turn. It's okay.
That would make this a pretty good keep if I just drew a good card.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You put all the cards in your deck on purpose, right?
It's not my deck. It's the thing. It's somebody else's deck.
Oh, okay. Then you can't trust anyone in this world. You should go to 5.
You know my backstory, yeah. See, what's my ideal 5 look like? Is it better than this?
Dan, we know you're just going to land Ristic Mana Crypt 3, so let's just go ahead and get there.
So true, bestie. I'm going to 5.
All right, that's what I thought. We've played before. So hypothetical for the table. If the person in 4th position said, just give me land Crypt Ristic, I'm in 4th, and that's my 3, would you agree?
No.
All right. If how much have they mulliganed already? None, or they're just in 4th seat and they just propose that?
Yeah, they just
session?
sit down like before even first 7, and they're just like, give me land Crypt Ristic 3.
I think I would say no because that play just wins the game all the time.
Yeah, I think so. Just an agreed upon mulligan to 3 is just still too good.
Okay, this is
Better?
defensible. And then I put those 2 to the bottom is the idea. I guess this is the 5.
Okay. Any pre-games from the table?
Yep, unfortunately.
Oh, so you did go to 3.
Yes, I have a gemstones, and I am going to exile. I think it's blind obedience.
All right, yeah. Okay, all right. Are we ready to start, everybody?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Good to go.
Cool, let's do it.
All right, I'm gonna draw for my turn. I'll play a Polluted Delta and a Mox Diamond. Anyone gonna counter my Mox?
No, I have the misstep in hand or whatever,
Okay,
but I'm
cool.
not using it on that.
All right, I'm gonna discard Ancient Tomb,
Powerful.
and then I'll play Mana Crypt,
Also powerful.
and then I'll. Guess I don't need to fetch. I have this Mox Diamond chilling. Yeah, I'm gonna recruit. Show up to work as a professional face breaker.
Yikes.
Nice.
That's priority.
Yeah, good by me.
All right, that's the end of my turn. That's all I got.
I'm going to ask a quick favor. Can we pass priority around the table?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, I just want to make sure everyone gets their chance to resolve priority properly is all. Like, we are playing Burn Abyss.
Okay. I mean, doesn't it benefit you if you know what Dan's going to do before you have to make a decision? But
I know, but it can
we
get messy later on.
Okay, that's fine. I'm in agreement.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
All right, I pass my turn.
All right. I will draw. I'll play an island and be probably the most uneventful player at this game. I will pass.
All right.
Take my draw. Brian, I would like to look at your hand, please.
All right.
Pass
So how does this work? Did they block me or do I block them?
You block them.
Okay. Okay. I am blocking the two other players, and this is my hand. Can you
Take
see
a
it?
quick screenshot. Screenshot captured. I will draw off probe. I will play Rograk.
Yep.
Thinking. I will activate Flooded Strand. Going to
You good.
37 life. I will grab Volcanic Island, and before I go ahead and shuffle, I might as well find out if this resolves. Cast a gamble.
Cards in hand.
6.
Dan, Bryant knows I can't counter this because I was just probed. If that affects your life at all,
No, I don't think so. I'm going to pass on it.
I'll also pass on it.
Dan, don't fall for any of Brian's tricks. There might be an ad nauseum in our future.
We all know I don't play that card.
Brian would never do that to me.
Yeah, that sure seems like him. Okay, gamble is resolved. I've selected my card. I have 7 cards in hand. Does anyone here have a D8? I will shuffle my hand and then we'll roll.
I have one in reach, probably. Yeah.
Okay, let me just shuffle my hand really quick. That way no one knows. Okay, 1 will be the bottom card, 7 will be the top card.
All right. Here's the 8-sider. 1, all the way to the bottom.
Dude, Mesa.
We got it.
I can't believe you guys hit my gamble target.
Oh,
I will pass.
Okay. I will take my turn. Untap, upkeep, and draw. Here is a Mana Confluence's land for turn. I'm going to cast a Lotus Petal.
I'm going to respond to Lotus Petal by fetching.
You got it.
I'm going to search for a volcanic island, and then you can continue with what you were doing.
I will proceed to pass the turn from there.
I think I've punted already.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
You love to hear it.
Shook by the opposition agent straight into fetch the wrong land. Good stuff. Okay, I'll go to my turn. I'll just draw a
You got
different land. Damage on odds for Mana Crypt.
Mhm.
That's a 5. I'm at 36. And draw for turn. Told you I'd draw the land. Too easy.
You also have a treasure producer. I wasn't.
Well, yeah, but my deck cares about doing things pre-combat, Dan.
Fair.
Thanks for reminding me. Okay, let's see if this Oppo is there. I'm going to fetch.
Yeah, sure. I'll go for it. Opposition agent.
I will. I mean, I have nothing. That's going to happen.
Dan, I love you.
Yeah, I need a land. Everyone's tapped out. Pretty much. Seems like a fine time to do it.
All right. What land do you want that Bloodstained Mire can get?
You got an underground in there still?
Yeah.
Pass it up. Oh, and now I get to peek at your hand too.
Yeah, that's true. You actually get my whole deck list. Okay. There's an underground sea for you.
You?
And since we're all sharing secrets, this is my hand. I have Red Blast and 2 tutors that I can't cast now.
Sick.
Jen,
Okay.
you received a free Gataxian probe.
Yep.
I don't get
I'm
to
gonna
draw.
I'm gonna attack Bryant with Professional Facebreaker.
Wow. Okay. It's a 3 power?
It's a 2/3.
Okay, so I go to 35.
All right, and I get a treasure. And then second man, I'm gonna cast Crom.
Yeah, that's good.
And then I'll pass my turn.
all right. I will draw for turn. I will play a Rejuvenating Springs as my land. And then I'm going to pass. That's it for me.
Untap, draw. I will play City of Traders, tap for 3 mana, and play the card I gambled for, Ristic Study.
Yeah, seems solid. Pass priority.
Pass.
I got nothing.
All right, pass the turn.
I'll untap, upkeep, draw, play an underground, seize my land for turn. And let's go in at Bryant for 3.
32. Why am I the bad guy here?
You know why you're the
You
bad
don't have
guy.
a sufficient blocker. I will pass the turn.
All right, I'll go to my turn. Damage on odds for Crypt. Did that land on camera? Can you see that? It is an
It's
Yeah, I
a
can see it
six.
Yes.
up there.
Okay. All right. I'm safe. I'll draw for turn. And guess what, Dan? You couldn't stop me. You ripped another land off the top.
He's too good.
Yep. Cannot be stopped. I'm gonna cast Timna and pay for Rhystic Study.
Okay.
Yep, go by me.
And I'm going to attack Bryant with Crom and Dan with Facebreaker.
I have no blocks.
No blocks for me as well. I will take 2.
Okay.
I go
yes.
to 28.
I get a treasure token. Second main. I'm gonna trigger Timna and pay 2 life to draw 2 cards.
I should have been at 39 from this mana confluence, but Filthy wouldn't catch it. So I'm at 37.
All right.
I know that Brian's playing the I have 2 dead tutors in my hand thing, but Brian feels pretty far ahead here.
Yeah,
Okay.
Timna and
Okay,
Crom
Mr.
pretty
Rhystic
goated.
Study. I will pass the turn.
I've drawn 0 cards off it.
All right.
You just played
Drawing.
it.
That was my turn, right?
Yes, it's your
It is
turn.
your turn. Yep.
Boseju. I'll pay 3 for a bloated contaminator.
That's that thing with toxic.
Yes. Trample, toxic, 4/4.
Trigger
Yep.
my Rhystic Study.
Oh, yep. Can't pay for it.
Draw.
I will pass.
Untap. Take a draw. Play an Ottawara, City of Traders triggers. Goes to the graveyard. Snare prototype.
Gotta read this one.
Oh, you should be very, very afraid of
It's
Ensnare
Springleaf Drum,
Prototype.
but bad.
Okay. Well, it's a tiny bit, I don't know, pretty lateral. I'll pass priority on it.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
I will pass the turn.
I will accept it. Untap, upkeep, and draw. Go to combat. 3 coming in at Bryant.
25.
Second main phase. I'm going to cast a Grim Monolith.
Trigger.
I will pay for it.
Pass on Grim Monolith.
Yep.
I will pass it up.
Okay. I'll go to my turn. Damage on odds. That's an odd. I'm at 30. Draw for turn. Okay. I will go to combat here. I have a Professional Facebreaker for Jen, a Crom Ludovic's Opus for Bryant, and a Tim of the Weaver for Dan.
Does
No
anything
blocks.
happen if I block the Facebreaker?
I have Menace.
Menace, got it. I take it too.
Yep.
I will Pyroblast Crom.
I'm cool with that. Pass priority.
Okay. Crom goes to the command zone.
I'll
2
say no
attackers
blocks and
coming.
take no lumps.
Okay. I will remember to trigger all of my Facebreaker cards this time and get 2 treasures instead of just 1. And I'll also pay the 2 life I just gained for Timna to draw 2 cards.
Sure.
Play Mana Confluence for the turn. And deciding how to sequence things here, because Magic's hard. And I will lose 1 life to Mana Confluence to... Oh, nope. Crom costs 7 now.
Mhm.
Okay. Reconsider. How many cards does everyone have?
4. How many cards do you have, Brian?
I have 7.
Okay. Dan, quit attacking me.
I can't attack him. He's had a 4/4.
You could have attacked him last turn.
Yeah, and he had a Timnit with 2 demonic tutors in his hand. I think I'm fine on that attack.
There. 7 in hand plus 3 treasures for Facebreaker. A lot of cards.
I'm gonna Pyroblast Rhystic Study, or Red Blast Rhystic Study.
Trigger.
I'll pay for it and float 1 with Mana Crypt.
I will Fierce Guardianship the Red Blast.
Pass on Fierce.
Okay, sure. And I'll take 1 to cast Crom. I can't pay for Rhystic.
Trigger. Draw. You're tapped out.
Yes.
I
You're gonna
will
daze me.
cast Daze.
I will
I'll
pass
Mindbreak
priority
trap
on
that.
base. Whoa.
Trigger.
Yep.
Draw. Thinking. How many cards do you have in hand, Brian?
5, and you know the 2 of them are dead tutors. You know Dan can cast Tivit next turn. And that card ends the game.
It's gonna be way easier now that everyone spent their red blasts.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, but Dan only attacks me anyway, so why does it matter?
Well, eventually I'll attack everybody in that case.
I'm sure. Thinking.
You're right. I apologize. I should have attacked Jen. She's gonna ad nauseum us.
The old green ad nauseum.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Shared summon.
Paradise Lost.
I will allow the. No, I guess I want that card in the graveyard. I'll Force of Will the Mind Break.
All right, congrats on your win, Dan. I will pass the turn.
You still have a Face Breaker and a Timna.
Congrats on your win, Dan. Pass the turn.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Draw. Gonna miss land drop. Gonna play a Lotus Petal.
Trigger.
I'll pay.
Thank you. Thank you. Don't
And
let him claw back
then-
in.
Yeah, I'm really the threat here.
No, Dan's the threat. Good thing you used all your counter magic on me.
I got 2 cards in it. Leave me alone.
You have Tivit in your command zone.
I'm gonna pay 2 for a prologue to Pheresis, and everyone gets a poison counter, and I'm gonna draw a card.
Trigger.
Right.
Trigger.
I'm not gonna pay for it.
Yeah, I got nothing for that. I'm not sure how you mark a poison counter on spell table.
Oh, there's an infect, like where the commander damage is.
Oh, okay.
You can do it that way.
There we go.
Okay.
All right. So that happened. I will then tap and sacrifice my Lotus Petal for a Venerated Rot Priest.
Trigger.
Can't pay for it.
I'll pass on Rot Priest.
Me too.
I want to attack someone, guys, but I'll be honest, I don't know who to attack.
I think anyone is a pretty fair choice. Me and Brian are probably a little bit better to hit at this point.
Sure.
Myself and Bryant are both ad nauseum decks. Bryant is a more dedicated ad nauseum deck than I am. But, I mean, we're both fair shots.
My life total's already down to 24. Ad nauseum's pretty close to being shut off.
Well,
yeah, I'd
then
say
shut it
hitting
off the rest
Brian
of the
is
way.
probably like a fine hit
Wait.
at this point, even yeah.
Bryant just said out loud, it's pretty close to being shut off. Just shut it off. Get him the 4.
Yeah.
I'm a bad ad naus deck anyway.
That is not true, and you have a bunch
That's
of mana in play.
Kind of true, but
I'm a terrible ad naus deck. My list today
That's
has
not
16
true.
creatures in it.
Jen, Brian's whole thing is talking a lot, so that way he seems like the good guy. Don't buy into it.
and I say follow your heart.
Yeah. Oh.
Just roll a die. There's nothing on the line.
You know what? Dan, I would like to attack you.
I
with
declare
my
no blocks.
Contaminator. For 4 and Toxic 1.
I'll take 4 damage and 1 poison counter.
Whenever Bloated Contaminator deals combat damage to a player, I get a proliferate, so everyone gets another poison counter.
I am
I
up
am
to
up
2
to 3
poison.
poison counters.
Okay.
Untap, draw. Dan has 2 in hand and can cast Tivit next turn. Brian, how many cards do you have in hand?
I have 5.
Okay,
And
yeah,
these
2 of
ones
them
that
I
don't
know.
work. So I also have 2 cards in hand.
Play Volcanic Island, and I will pass the turn.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Here is a Cephalid Coliseum. It's my land for turn. Let's go to attackers. And Brian, do you have how many cards?
I have 5.
And Ristic.
I mean, you have... How
I
many
have
cards
5, and I
drawn?
just showed you 3 of them are blank.
And you have a Timna that you've been drawing 2 cards off a turn when Jen is the only one not paying for my Ristic. Like, I actually haven't drawn that many cards off it.
You've drawn more cards than Timna has.
That is not true.
It is absolutely
I-
true.
Alexander.
That
Roll
is
the
true.
tape for the audience.
I feel
Go
like
ahead,
it's only been
audience.
2
Roll the
draws on the
tape.
Ristic so far, hasn't it? No,
His
3.
name's Alexander in character.
Alexander.
Roll the tape. Prove that Brian Coval is a filthy liar, and not the good kind of filthy like Jen.
Oh, the good kind.
I'm going to go to combat, and I'm going to punch Brian for 3.
I'm at 26.
And then I'm going to pass.
All right. I'll go to my turn. Damage on odds. Odds again. Can't cut a break. I'm at 23. And I'll draw for turn. I am going to attacks. I'll attack Bryant with Facebreaker and Dan with Timna.
I have no blocks.
We're in blockers right now.
And I declared an attack in your direction. If you're ready to go to blockers, that's on you.
Well, Bryant said no blockers, so is that?
Well, I mean,
We're
he
all set to
can't
go then?
shove you through a phase. Like if you
Yeah, I
say,
guess that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
no,
you
I
gotta
don't
go
want to do
beginning
anything in
of combat,
attackers.
That's fine.
I'm good to move to blockers.
Okay.
I'm just gonna flash in a Notion Thief, and I will not pay for the Ristic Study.
Trigger. Now I need
And
to
then I'll have
read
no
Ristic-
blocks.
I need to read Ristic Study. Hold on.
Yeah.
I don't know what my own cards do. Can't
You
remember
don't
if it's a
have to
May or
draw.
not.
It is a May.
Yeah.
Well, I can't do anything about it anyway, so
Okay,
let's
so
proceed.
no blocks is the final answer from everyone.
Taking my lumps.
I go to 25 and I get 2 treasures.
I would not recommend triggering your Timna this time.
Well, I can't stop it from triggering, but I will decline to use it.
What a rules hawk.
I know. Professional plays here. Here's the Verdant Catacombs that I can't use. And I'll play a Spellwar Stone. And I'm
Trigger.
not going to pay for Ristic.
Thank you, Brian. You're a great guy.
That's Notion Thief.
That's Dan's draw,
Oh.
if you're going to draw.
I will not trigger. My bad. My bad.
I was like, damn, you gonna let me
I
have
take
it,
back
huh?
what- I'll take back what I said.
Okay.
Dan, you're not
Jeez.
a good guy.
I'm going to pass a turn.
This is Ristic Study abuse.
Ristic study abuse. All right, I'm untapping. I'm drawing.
Hey, Brian, can we both agree that Dan is now the bad person?
I've been telling you that for a turn cycle, you dummy. Remember when you used all your counter spells on me, on my commander, my 7-mana commander that drew you a card? Good play.
I mean, you deserved it at the time. I stand by my decision.
Yeah, Dan's the threat, but we're also getting slowly poisoned out. There's
I'm on a
the
kinda
biggest
short
creature in
block from Jen
play.
right now.
Yeah, the biggest creature in
mean-
play also proliferates.
Good for Jen. That's what I have to say.
I know, and there's a
Like-
rot priest. We're actually like, we're
Yeah,
not
we-
looking super.
we could
great.
lose
Hey,
right
Jen,
now.
do you mind poisoning Dan out?
All right, Brian, let's you and I have a conversation where maybe you should let me draw some
Oh.
cards off this Ristic so we don't die to a rot priest.
No, that's okay. I'd rather die
Alright.
to poison than let you in.
I had to shoot my
I'd
shot.
rather die than feed someone's Notion Thief. I agree.
I think with that, Brian, I'd like to attack you with my bloated contaminator.
Yikes. All right. I cannot interact with this. I go to 21 and I get a poison, and then I
Yeah.
get another poison when you proliferate.
And each of you get a poison because I proliferate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm at 4 poison.
I
you
believe I'm
only
at
both.
3. Yes, I'm at 3 poison.
I will pass.
Draw.
Oh,
no
Rot
attack.
Priest targets, though. So
Oh, okay. I
Jen
thought
will
it was
have
gonna
to
be
choose a
clarifying.
Huckleberry.
Less scary than I thought, I guess.
I've drawn for turn. All right, I'm sorry to ask this again, but between who has the most cards in hand, her total card count?
1.
I have 4.
Looks like Jen has 5.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to cast Jessica's Will, targeting Jen for the. It's both modes, but Jen will be the mana mode, so it would make 5 red if it resolves.
I'm going to pass priority on it.
Me too.
I have nothing.
Okay, so I will exile the top 3 and gain 5 red mana. 5 red. Okay, well, I will start off by playing a Talisman because I haven't had black mana all game.
Yeah.
Aw.
And this tutor's pretty bad with an opposition agent out, and I'm not sure if I actually want to play Defense Grid.
Fair.
Go ahead, Bart. Say the line. Dan's the threat.
If you keep bullying me, I'm going to punt to Dan. I'm spiteful, Brian.
I know. I don't think
Please
you're
let that be
spiteful.
true.
I
I
think
need
you're
this
just not good at reading board states.
You would be wrong. Who won the last one we played in? Remind me.
Me, because I punted.
That's not what happened.
Or you, because I punted. But guess what? You can't rest on your laurels. We're here today.
What an inspiration.
Just shouting out a random 4-person game from 6 months ago like it's an accomplishment. Chill out.
I did beat you though. It's the highlight of my life. Clearly.
No, I beat myself.
Um,
I let you win.
I'm sure. I will play a land for turn, and unfortunately, these will be exiled. Pass.
Okay. I will untap, upkeep, and draw. Move to combat. Bryant, I'm going to come at you for 3.
Okay, I go to 21.
Second main phase. I'm going to put a Tivit on the stack. Paying one
Gonna
life
reread
for my
this one
Death of the
real quick.
Coliseum.
Brian, if you're wondering, I don't have any way to interact.
I don't either. Remember when we wasted all our interaction on each other?
Well, that was turn 1 of the game, and you have other.
No, that
inbuilt
was 2
cards,
turns
but-
ago after the game was well established that Dan could cast it. I can't interact with this.
Okay, so assuming
Okay.
that Jen has nothing, Tivit resolves.
I have nothing.
All right, ETB, we are each going to vote, and I'm going to vote twice. The votes are either for treasures or clues. I currently have 2 cards in hand. I am going to vote for 1 clue and 1 treasure.
I'll give you a clue.
Clue.
Don't. Okay, I'm going to ask a question here because I don't really understand Tivit. Don't we want to give Dan treasure if they're low on
At
cards?
this point, kind of. It depends.
would
I don't know.
vote-
It depends on how you're reading it.
Yep.
I'm going to vote treasure.
At this point, it's definitely pretty close. It's kind of a tough decision. Okay. I've got nothing else. I'm going to pass the turn.
Okay. I will go to my turn. Damage on odds for crypt. Safe. Draw for turn. Oh, Tivit is enormous, huh?
Yep, 6/6 Ward 3 flyer.
Yep.
All right. Well, I don't think Facebreaker is worth your Notion Thief, so I'm still attacking you with Facebreaker, and I'll attack Bryant with Timna.
Excellent read,
No,
Basti. You got it.
19.
26.
All right. I get 2 treasures and gain 2 life. I'm at 23. And I'm going to tap Felwar Stone. Ugh. Magic sucks. I'm going to Culling Ritual, or Culling the Weak, my Timna.
Yikes.
Calling ritual.
Calling the weak. Calling
Yeah.
ritual is a different card.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Bryant, that's a pass.
I have nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing for it either.
Okay. I have 4 black in the pool. Make 2 colorless. 2 colorless in the pool. I'll leave a black in the pool to add Nas.
I will trigger my wrist stick.
I'm not going to pay.
Dan.
Yeah, is it okay? Can I draw?
Yeah.
Okay. Oof. Got nothing for that.
Then ad nauseum resolves, assuming Jen can't do anything.
Nothing.
All
I'm
right.
such
So,
a bad ad nauseum duck. My name is Brian. Let me.
I mean,
bully
I
Brian
am.
all
I'm at
game.
23. I would not cast this card if I had any other play. Okay.
Yeah, we've
I'm
gone
at
through, like-
21.
Non-insubstantial amount of
21.
fast mana.
I'm at 16.
Is that?
I don't think
Oh
fast
my
mana
God.
matters when Brian has 6
I'm at 15.
tap sources.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
15, 13, 11, 10, still 10, 7, 6. I'm at 3. I should stop there.
Probably.
Put these cards in my hand. Okay. Storm is 2. I have 1 black in the pool. I'm going to play Lavinia. Any responses? Is Lavinia good?
I'm not going to respond anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got no response to Lavinia.
Okay. I'll make a white. And gonna Swords to Plowshares Opposition Agent.
Uh-oh. Brian has Demonic Tutor in hand.
So true.
I've been revealing it since turn 1. It's true.
I'll respond. Sacrifice my treasures to crack a clue. Is that okay?
Go for it.
I will put a Mindbreak Trap on the stack.
You may not.
Lavinia will counter it.
I've got 4 lands. Oh, I didn't pay mana.
But you
for it.
paid 0, so that's countered.
Forgot the other line of text.
Yep.
Okay.
Any other
Countered.
responses?
No.
Okay. Swords to Plowshares on Oppo.
Yep. I'll gain 3.
Okay. And then I'll fetch with Verdant Catacombs. I'm at 2. I didn't adjust my life. I was at 3 when I stopped nosing.
Correct.
Okay, I go to 2. I'm gonna tutor Badlands with that. And I'll shuffle in a moment if I need to. Mox Opal. And Chrome Mox. Chrome Mox is gonna exile probably Elish Norn. Yeah, I'll exile Elish Norn, Mother of Machines. Gotta get control of my board state here. Then I'll make red with a treasure for Rite of Flame. Get 2 red.
Mhm.
So Storm is 7, 1 black, 2 red in the pool. And I'm going to use a black and a red to Demonic Tutor.
Yeah.
I'll get this card. I'll use my land drop for Plateau. Tap it and make a red, or use the red that's floating to cast Underworld Breach.
Yep.
Okay, and then I'm going to Demonic Tutor for my graveyard.
I'm good to concede here if everyone else is.
Yep, I
Sounds
can
good to me.
Yeah, I can tutor multiple times here, Brain Freeze in between, and then Thassa's Oracle is the win.
Yep, sounds good. GG's.
GG's.
Is everyone on board with that?
Yeah.
So if Brian wins another, it is over.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's the job of everyone to stop me for the next at least 3 games.
Game 1 to Brian Coval, the Shark Rider.
One, 2, and 3.
Rigged.
Boo!
But good.
Unless.
Boo!
Also
Brian,
rigged, but
two
good.
Twice. All right, team. We have to work together to stop Brian. I will.
I'm looking at my first 7.
Also looking at first 7.
I'm keeping my first 7.
I'm going to mulligan my first 7.
Me too. Mulligan's
my-
away.
I am looking at second 7.
I'm also looking at second 7.
Hey, me too.
That's cool.
Mm.
I got the first player curse. Here's that gemstone again. I'm going to go to 6.
I will keep
Yeah,
second
me too.
7.
Jewel Lotus and Vamp Tutor look promising. No lands less promising.
You could vamp tutor for a land.
Not if I don't have any to begin with.
I would let you Jewel Lotus for that, but you have to use all 3 of the mana.
There's no way Jen would. She's a fucking shark.
Remember that Twitter post a while ago where someone was like talking about how busted Jewel Lotus is, and then it didn't make any sense. And then further down the thread, they were like, "Oh yeah, we rule 0 it so you could spend the mana on anything."
Oh my god. Yeah.
And they just like earnestly didn't realize that they had unbanned Black Lotus in their pod.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Black Lotus is a fun card to play with, so I get it. I get the incentive.
It's true. Yeah, I would put it in this deck if I was allowed.
All right, looking at my 6 here. Oh
Right,
yeah, that's
I've got a
solid
6 coming.
That's good. I like this.
I'm gonna go to 5.
I just realized it's really only me and Dan that changed places, huh?
Yeah,
Oh, I guess so.
Mm-hmm. We just switched.
Okay, I'm gonna put this on bottom. And I'm
that
good
just
with my
means
6.
Dan will execute that game plan that almost got their last game half a turn earlier. Watch out for Dan.
I kept one more card this time too, so you're extra
We're
fucked.
all in trouble. Dan is the CEO on Don't Be Afraid of 3, so keeping 6 actually scares me.
Well, I'm not playing an asshole Grixis deck today, so I'm not gonna mold a 3 at any point. But I don't know. I guess I would if I had to.
Does the Grixis player become more or less of an asshole if they add white? We know where Bryant lands, but what about me?
It's not like you as a player, it's your deck, and like, is your deck an asshole deck or not? Of like, care about like what the rest of people are doing, and white decks tend to care a little bit more.
That's true.
Grixis decks are just like everybody shut the fuck up and trying to like win the game here.
Oh my god. My 5 contains the Gemstone Cavern again. I'm going to 4.
Hell yeah, let's
Good.
go. Oh no, it's gonna
That's
be a
all
very
right.
6 steady hands.
This was the game no one was allowed to let me win anyway, so let's just
true.
chase the nuts here and or just keep lands and spells at this point. Resolve a turn 3 Timna. Don't worry about me. Okay, there's 4 cards coming my way. Okay, I'm keeping this 4. It's not getting better.
Okay. Pre-games anybody?
I have to bottom 3 cards.
Okay. That's
but
a good pre-game.
I've announced that I'm keeping the hand. Yeah, anyone else want to bottom 3 cards at the start of the game?
No, thank you.
I'd be okay with it. 2, 3. Okay, these are gone. I've selected my 4 cards I'm going to keep. Any other
Excellent.
pre-games?
Not for me.
All right, we ready to party?
Sounds like it.
All right, I'll draw for my
Good.
turn. I'm going to fetch before Dan can punish me for it.
Mark.
I'm going to get Volcanic Island and cast Ragavan. And that's my
Nice.
turn.
Okay. Untap, upkeep, and draw.
Oh, Dan, did you give me my Underground Sea back from last game?
Yes. I
Okay.
wiped it off of my infinite token.
Okay, just checking.
Okay. It's a beta, so I know you'd be worried about it.
It's FBB, but yeah, I would be worried.
Okay. Well, still, it's money. I'm going to play Marsh Flats as my land for turn. I'm going to crack it and go get myself a Tundra and cast a Soul Ring.
I will pass on Soul Ring.
Nothing.
Me too.
Cool. I'll cast a Demir Signet,
Mm-hmm.
and I will cast a Jewel Lotus.
Whoa.
Wow, it's a turn 2 Tivit.
Nice.
I will pass the turn after that. I'm just going to go get my Tundra.
Draw. Underground Sea. Rograk. Actually, no Rograk yet.
Whoa.
Mystic Remora.
Nice.
Gross.
Says the person with turn 2 Tivit.
I know, I'm stoked that I was before you. That's why I'm saying nice.
Yeah, that's a creature. Dan doesn't care.
Assuming that Remora resolves, I will play my Rograk, Son of Roga, and pass the turn.
Drawing for turn. I would like to play a Rejuvenating Springs and tap it for a Venerated Raw Priest.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. The nuts.
And pass.
Okay. I'll go to my turn. Draw. I'm going to attack Bryant with Ragavan.
It begins 38.
Treasure token, and we flipped. What is that? Mox Amber?
Yep.
Yeah, I have a legend. Gonna
Wait,
make
there's
my
a Mystic?
land drop, and then I'm gonna
Do it, there's a
play.
Mystic.
I know there's a Mystic. I'm not worried about Bryant right now. I'm worried about you, Tivit.
Fuck.
I will play Bryant's Mox Amber, and we both get a card off it. I get the
I
Amber. He
will
gets the thing.
trigger my fish. I'm going to get my fish trigger out because it's fishy. Draw.
Yep. And
Oh, I'm sorry. It's good by me.
that will be the end of my turn. Or wait, I have a commander I can cast. Hold up.
I'm just going to
hold
put
up.
this over here, I guess. I don't know where to put this thing. Put it there.
I'm probably
That
going to cast Timna here. Give me 1 second.
Wow, looks just like the real thing.
I know. Just call me Dan Scott. Okay. I will wait. This mana
Yeah,
doesn't
not with
make
that
Timna.
configuration.
Stephen
this mana-
Belladin.
Yeah, this mana works. I will summon Timna.
Yeah, I'll pass on Timna.
Pass.
Nothing.
That's the end of my turn.
Untap, upkeep, and draw. I will play a Hallow Fountain untapped, go to 37. I will I'll leave a blue floating from this Demir Signet. Sacrifice my Lotus for black and white here. Cast Tivit.
How many cards do you have in hand? I'm just curious.
I have 3.
I cannot help with this Tivit. Just saying.
I'm going to pass.
I have nothing.
Same.
ETB trigger. I'm going to choose 2 treasures this time.
I will choose treasure.
Clue?
And I'll choose treasure.
I have got 1 blue in my pool right now. Crack one of these treasures. Another blue here. I will cast a Rhystic Study and I will not pay for the Mystic Remora.
Trigger. Ooh, that was a good draw. I will force a negation, pitching Mystical Tutor.
Brian, a little help here?
No
What?
chance.
What?
Listen, I gotta try. All right. Force an egg is good. I have no further actions to take. I will pass the turn.
I will pay the upkeep on Mystic Remora, draw a card, Bloodstained Mire, and I will pass the turn.
Untap. I will draw. I will play a forest. I will pay 2 for a Canker Bloom.
Uh-oh.
I'm guessing
Sounds
that's a
poisonous.
creature.
It is a creature.
Ooh, it's a good one. Destroys target artifact, enchantment, or proliferate.
Oh, it's a Kasali Pride Mage with Proliferate attached. Nice.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
Very nice.
I've adjusted my life total, by the way. I was supposed to be at 38 for Mana Confluence.
No, that's it. I'm going to pass. That's all I got.
All right. I'll go to my turn. A lot of creatures on this board. Don't like it. Draw
Yeah.
for my turn. Cankerbloom. I don't think I want to trade Timna for Cankerbloom.
I bet you don't.
Words that have never been said in Magic before.
It's a really excellent Timna blocker.
Yeah, it is. Almost as good as this 6/6. I guess I'll send the whole squad at Bryant then. Timna and Rag.
34. Triggers.
Yes. A treasure for me, and I flip a red blast.
Yep.
All right, that's
It's
floating.
something that could kill Tivit.
That's true. I gain 2 life, and then I pay 1 to draw a card with Timna. Found my land drop for the turn. Lucky, lucky. Tivit has Ward 4.
Ward 3.
3.
Ward 3, okay. Slightly more approachable than originally believed. I'm gonna crack my Scalding Tarn.
Mhm.
I go to 38 again. This is gonna get a Tundra. I'll get Tundra. And then I will Red Blast Tivit.
Ward trigger.
Trigger my fish.
I can't pay for the fish. I will pay for the ward. I lose 1 life from Mana Confluence.
Yeah, that's good. Tivit dead.
That will be the end of my turn.
Untap. Upkeep. Draw. How many cards in hand, everybody?
I have 7.
It's close to 90 because I'm shuffling. But in my hand of cards, there's 4.
Okay. I'll play Godless Shrine as my land for turn. Go to 35. 6, 7, and 8. Cast Tivit.
Gross.
Yeah.
Tivit does the thing when it attacks also, right?
When
it
it
deals
deals for combat
combat
damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So killing it was fine. Yeah, you were going to get that for free.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you time walked us both, which is I don't know. You got 1 win, so I guess I'm fine with it.
You assume I was going to do anything. Remember, I mulled a 4.
Yeah, that's also
That was a
fair.
good use of my turn.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm
Brian.
passing on Tivit.
Okay.
Pass.
Nothing.
I also pass.
Okay, Tivit ETB. I'm going to choose 2 treasures. 2 cards in hand.
I'm gonna respond to the ETB just in case. I'm going to fetch so I don't get hit by Op Agent.
You got it.
And I will get Volcanic Island. After that, I will choose treasure.
Okay, so that's 4 treasures. Jen, what are you thinking?
Treasure.
I'll stay with the team here. Treasure up.
Alrighty, 6 treasures, 1 clue. I will pass it up.
And I will shuffle. Go to my turn. Do I want to pay for the fish? I think I do. I'll pay for fish.
Okay. While we're still in your draw step here,
Draw step or upkeep?
I'm sorry, upkeep.
Okay.
As long as everyone's passing to me,
I am, yeah.
I'm gonna sacrifice 5 treasures and cast Ad Nauseam.
Trigger.
You can draw.
I'm unable to stop this.
I will cast Force of Will, Pitching, Chain of Vapor.
The hero we need.
Acceptable. You got me.
May I go to my draw step?
No further effects.
Draw. Play an Otawara, a Lotus Petal. And that's it.
You're passing.
Yep.
All right. Untap. So is Ad Naz always a win?
No, it just lets you draw a bunch of cards, which almost always means a win. It's like 90% of the time a win.
Depends on the life total. Like at 35, Dan probably would have untapped and won. At 20, it might have just been trying to draw some
Brian
cards.
said this earlier, but I'm actually a much worse Ad Nauseam deck than you are. I have a lot of like
Yeah.
you value pieces, but
You are the worst of the 3 by a lot.
I would have, drawn fairly reasonably, seeing we had a whole turn order to go, and God knows what Jen's got in her deck that's got haste. So
Yeah.
Nothing. I played a Hinterland Harbor as a land for a turn. I'd like to play a Ristic Study.
Ooh.
Trigger.
A new player joins the game.
I know.
I'll
for
draw-
real.
I will draw off my fish.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
I'm gonna pass on Ristic
Resolves.
Study.
Sounds good. I like to swing at Brian with my venerated raw priest.
That's 1 damage and 1 poison.
Correct.
Okay. I take 1 poison. I go to 1 poison.
I
And I'm
have-
at 36.
That's all I
So-
got.
All right. I'll go to my turn. This canker bloom. It's cramping my style so bad.
Ooh, Brian's got Nas in hand. I mean, breach.
I have neither. I just want to attack with Timna.
Oh. Goated 3/2 blocker.
Yeah, absolutely busted. And like, if it was 2/3, I would easily just not do it because that's better than my thing. But like,
It's the fruit hanging in front
like
of you.
the trade, like, do I think Jen values an onboard disenchant more than trading with Timna? I'm not going to risk it. I value Timna more than that risk. Sorry, Bryant, you're the only one. Squad's coming your way.
28.
All right, trigger
And
Ragavan.
trigger. Final fortune.
Ooh.
I'm unlikely to cast that. I'll draw my card first and find out. I go to 37 and draw. I'm just going to play this scrub land. And I can summon my commander. I'll do that. I lose a life to cast Crom.
I'll pass priority on it.
I will pass priority, but Jen has a trigger.
Right. I will not pay that Ristic Study.
Okay, thank you.
The old second main Crom, you love to see it. I'm going to pass the turn after that.
Untap. Upkeep. Draw. I'm going to move to combat. Bryant, I'm going to come at you for 6.
What the balls?
And Brian's got the 4/4 blocker. I need to get in.
Guess I'm going to 22.
Hit trigger. I'm going to pick 2 clues.
I will pick treasure.
Treasure.
Cool. 4 treasures, 3 clues. I'm going to 2 mana sacrifice a clue. Is that okay?
Good with me.
Good with me.
Land for turn is Gemstone Caverns.
Right on time.
Going to activate Demir Signet and crack another clue.
Have fun.
Results.
Also pretty good. Sure. Let's go one more time. Why not? Crack. Draw. That's pretty sweet. I'm going to do nothing else and pass the turn.
Can I have a total card count?
5 for me.
4.
I'm going to let the fish die.
Did well.
It did not.
How many
draw
cards
for
do you
turn?
have in hand, Bryant?
I have 6. May I go to my draw step?
I'm thinking about that for a second. I'm going to Path Rogue Rack during upkeep.
Wow.
So, just a reminder, if Brian wins, this is over. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Brian's not going to cast a creature that I'm going to be able to path and do anything about. If he casts a creature that wins the game, it's going to be Dockside Extortionist or
Or
Thassa's
just
Oracle.
the value engines in play, but sure.
Am I really going to path to take him off of a draw, though? Like, I don't know. I'm going to path to take you off of Jessica's Will right now is the plan.
I don't agree with your play, and I think how
That's
we
fine.
lose
You
this
don't
is
need to.
Brian claws in using the value engines, but sure, I'll draw.
Okay, great. We can agree on that.
All right, Dan.
Mystic Study. Any responses to that?
You can have it, Jen.
City Trader. I will cast Dark Ritual. Jen, you may draw.
Thank you.
I'm not going to pay for any of your draws this turn, by the way. Just letting you know.
All right.
No response on Ritual.
Yeah, me neither.
3 block. Tap the city, play Rog.
I draw for Crom.
Sure. I assume Rog is good.
I pass on Rog, yeah.
Likewise.
I will cast Diabolic Intent using a block and another block.
I pass.
Yep, me too.
This might be the wrong play. I'm already at 22. Ad nauseum doesn't work. I've selected my card. Shuffle.
That Rograk's out of play, right?
No, he cast
No,
it.
it's sorry. This went to the graveyard. My bad.
Oh, with the Diabolic
It
Intent, right?
died to the intent. Yep, my bad. My whole plan was to put it to the graveyard, and then I just didn't do it. So I've tapped the Volcanic Island for a red. And I will cast Underworld Breach.
Draw for Mystic Study.
You got any responses for that, Jen?
I have nothing.
Okay. I'll respond to that with silence.
Jen gets to draw a card.
John.
Imagining Dan isn't doing anything, I will cast
No.
Flusterstorm.
That has infinite copies, so I cannot pay them with the 1 mana I have.
Yeah, passing on Fluster as well.
Yep.
I wrote
I have
Breach
no
back on
additional
the side.
responses to breach.
No additional responses to Breach as well.
Okay. Sacrifice Lotus Petal for blue. I'll recast it.
I might respond to
Escaping away
cast.
the Rog. And escape away this Force of Negation. Rog will return to the command zone with 2 counters on it.
Yeah, I'll respond to Lotus Petal on the stack.
Sure.
Sacrifice 2 treasures. I'm going to single target Cyclonic Rift the Breach.
I draw for Crom.
Yes.
I'm gonna choose not to draw for study.
I will pass. Your Rift resolves.
Okay.
I'll pass the turn.
Okay. Untapping, drawing. I'm gonna be discarding. Let's do Island. Bullring.
Yep.
I'll pay 3 for a Trigon Predator.
I draw for Crom.
I will pass on the Predator.
Yeah.
Okay.
T-Preds.
Your state. With that, I'd like to swing the Rock Priest at Dan.
Ooh, open target.
Rock
Like-
Priest at me, that is 1 damage.
1 damage and 1 poison.
You got it. I will take 1 damage to go to 34, and I will go to 1 poison counter.
Okay. I pass after I discard. Discarding a forest, the Eternal Witness, and another forest.
Alrighty. I'll start my turn. Okay, Trigon Predator can block a flyer, but I mean, go for it. Okay, Crom is going to attack Jen. Timna is going to attack Dan, and Rag's going to attack Bryant.
No effects.
No responses.
I go to 20, and you get a deflecting swat.
Ooh.
32. I'm sorry, you
All
said
right.
it was Timna at me or Crom?
I was attacking Timna at you.
Okay, Timna. So I'm at 32.
I go to 38, then I'll pay 3 after second main, or in second main to draw 3 cards. Okay, and I have a SWAT in the Ragavan zone. SWAT is available here if I want it. And I can 0 that, right? Ragavan just says you may cast. Yeah, okay. Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Yeah, I can 0 that. Cool. Alrighty. I'll look at my bounty of riches here and make a decision.
It's crazy. It's almost like all those cards you drew off Tin and Crom are now coming back to help you.
It's true.
Almost like if someone didn't attempt to win before he went to his turn, I could have had interaction for it.
And 2 more mana off that breach line. That mattered a lot. Okay. I'm gonna play Arid Mesa for the turn and sacrifice it, going to 34.
You got it.
I believe this is gonna get bad lands, and I think I'll be in my deck again shortly. I'll give it a real shuffle if I need to draw a card. I'm gonna cast Underworld Breach.
Good spell. I will pass priority on it.
Yeah.
I have nothing.
Okay, I will cast Gamble.
So a good one. Pass priority.
I'm just checking a card real quick. All right. Okay. Yeah, Gamble from an 8-card hand. It'll be 9 when the Gamble card arrives.
I think I got a 10 here.
I'm gonna put this card in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is the accurate number. Okay. Top card is 9. Bottom card's 1.
All right, here we go. 2.
2, 1, 2. You got Mindbreak Trap out of my hand.
Nice.
I'm gonna make a blue and some other color. I'm gonna brain freeze myself for 9 cards.
Yep, no response.
1, 2, 3. Esper Sentinel, Dothy Voidwalker Intuition. 1, 2, 3. Otawara, Mnemonic Betrayal, Polluted Delta. 1, 2, 3. Jeweled Lotus, Ancient Tomb, Plateau. All right, Storm is currently 3. I'm going to play Jeweled Lotus from my graveyard. Storm is 4. Exile 3 cards. I'm going to gamble from my graveyard. Storm is 5. Exile these 3. And with my last 2 remaining mana. Oh wait, I have to resolve gamble. Right. I'm gonna put this face down card. That's definitely Lion's Eye Diamond into my hand.
Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. Someone got an 8.
Roll a 10 again for you. Here we go. 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You hit Elish Norn, Mother of Machines. Okay. Then I'll play Lion's Eye Diamond. Storm is 6. I'm going to sacrifice Lion's Eye Diamond for white mana.
Mhm.
There's 3 white in the pool. I'm going to cast Silence from my graveyard.
Pass priority on it.
Bryant's got the pass button up.
Gent's been sandbagging the Force of Will. Let's go.
Early enough, no.
All right. Okay, so Silence resolves. Everybody sleepy?
Yep. Super sleepy. I'm good to concede to you presenting a loop or you win the game.
Yep. I am going to do this until I find Thassa's Oracle.
Wow.
Sounds good. GG's.
Good game. I have
GG's.
learned so much.
Yeah, there's some crazy stuff up here at the top end.
Winning turns are very interesting.
Yes. They're very
Casual is
weird.
so different. So different. Wow. So do you guys see it coming? Like you just know he's going to win as soon as he starts doing certain things?
Cards like Underworld Breach usually end in a win.
You just
Um,
know.
Yeah, like ad
Yeah, like in a
nauseum.
situation where he's got Breach and the Gamble, there's only the Lion's Eye Diamond that frees to go for, really.
Oh.
It's basically the same thing as, like Pioneer or something, where you see the deck and they're playing their certain cards and you're like, oh, it's this deck.
You just know the decks. You know what's going to happen.
Yeah, some people have flexi slots. I never would have guessed that Brian was running Elish Norn, Mother of Machines, but I could guess probably like 90% of the cards in everybody's deck.
Yeah, at this power level, there's probably like 500 or 600 playable cards across all 5 colors. And once you start to see patterns and like where someone's going, their commander gives away a wedge, and then cards they play give away more details within that wedge of options, and you can narrow it down pretty quick.
And that was 2 hours of 2 games. Not even a full 2 hours. That's crazy.
We were
Yep.
promised by Dan that we would be done by lunch. We are here with the winner of our inaugural Iron Deck tournament, the Lord of Storms, Bryant Cook, to speak to him after the Grand Championship. Bryant, what was your experience playing for it all?
Alexander, I was not the winner. I'm sorry. That title would go to Sir Brian Coval. He was victorious.
You are the winner in many's hearts, I imagine.
Okay, I'll take that. As long as I can be the winner of your heart, that's the ultimate prize.
That's a beautiful thing to say. But you did win our initial Iron Deck tournament. You took the Wheel of Fortune.
I did.
I would love to have you back in our next season so that you can once again try to ascend the mountaintop and become one
Sounds
of our
good.
grand champions. So if you could give me your experience in this final Iron Deck tournament of our season 1.
I would say it was very fortunate that Brian Coval happened to be on the play both games. Meanwhile, I was in third seat both games. In CEDH, I find that seeding plays a big portion. If you look at any of the data that people collect, seat 1 wins somewhere between 30 and 35% of the time. So being a skilled wizard like Brian is, and being in first seat was highly advantageous. So sometimes them the beats, and that's how Magic goes. No reason to be upset or anything like that. It's just that's how it went when we played. So congrats to Brian. Very happy for him and his Abyss. The games themselves, I felt that I was the target out of the gate due to playing Rograk Silas. It is a deck that people fear because it's so powerful. That said, Timna Krom has a lot of the same shell, but white cards in addition. It appears more fair. And there was even a point, and I believe in game 1, in which Brian said, attack Bryant, he's the ad nauseum deck. But I was like, Brian, you're also the ad nauseum deck. And then sure enough, that next turn cycle, Brian cast ad nauseum from 7 life, even though people had been attacking me the whole time. So Brian is very good at the politics angle of the game, where I'm a little bit more reserved when I play, but he definitely used it to his advantage and convinced the table that I was the bully. So it worked out well for Brian. There's a couple of attacks that I was like, we could have tried to push the envelope on Brian a little bit, who appeared to be ahead, but ultimately, it is what it is, right?
I am not too proud to say that when I engaged with him in our Bad Beats tournament, he played me like a fiddle with his table politics. So I understand that that is a tool in his toolbox. However, you always play with a target on your back, it seems, and I believe you excel in these situations, which you certainly did in the first tournament.
Yeah, the first pod arguably was a little bit tougher. No discredit to the other people in this pod, but the first pod, Phil Gallagher was in it on a stack shell. So I was facing a skilled wizard and Brian plus stacks permanence, which was just very, very difficult to beat. And Rebel was on a hybrid. It was half stacks, half counter magic, half disruption. So I felt like I got away with one there, certainly.
Well, I wouldn't say got away with. It was a pretty convincing victory.
Okay, if you say so.
And since we have established a rule in your name, we have to go 2 matches because we fear the storm that you bring.
Yeah, so in the second match, let's talk about this event here.
Please.
There's this interesting thing about Iron Deck where it is playing to 2 wins. 1 win is not good enough. So when the first person gets a victory, it is the responsibility of the other 3 players at the table to ensure that that person does not win again. And when we look at the first one I played in, that was enforced heavily, where people went out of their way to make sure that somebody with 1 win didn't win another.
Yes.
And in this Iron Deck, I don't believe that was the case. It felt a little bit more as if players were playing 1 game individually, when I think that we could have gone after Brian a lot harder in game 2 to ensure that there was more games played. For example, if I had won on the turn that I cast Underworld Breach, at least there would have been another game in which the other players could have potentially have won.
That's true. There is an extra level to the Iron Deck tournament. And this time we didn't get to see it, as it was a 2-0.
Clean sweep.
Clean
Got
sweep.
wrecked.
But again, I would like to thank you for being part of our Iron Deck tournament. And
Of course.
I would love to invite you back to season 2, because I feel that there is more for the Lord of Storms to accomplish.
I want revenge. I'm coming for Brian Coval.
That is what I want to hear. Brian Cook, thank you so much. The founder and owner of the Epic Storm. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I am here with our second Iron Deck tournament champion, ModAnon.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Dan, otherwise known as Moderately Anonymous MTG. You can find me across the internet. You can find me all across the internet at that name, mostly on Twitch and YouTube.
So you took our second Iron Deck championship, which was the Halloween championship for the All Hallows Eve. May I ask, has that All Hallows Eve made its way into any decks?
No, I think I told you last time in our interview that it's a card that I've been after for a really long time. I shoved it into my collection binder, and I haven't really taken a look at it since. It's still chilling there.
That's probably the best place for it, as Living Death is better in every way. So, may I ask you your experience with our first Iron Deck tournament?
The first Iron Deck tournament, it was a really fun one. The theme deck was something I wasn't really used to, and it took a little bit of flexibility on my part to come in with the Halloween theme, but I thought it did a pretty good job with my skeleton deck, and it was a lot of fun, some really good competitors.
You did get there in back-to-back wins. The first one, I believe the first one you lost, and then, as promised, 2 straight wins.
Yes, I think Jim won our first one, and then we got the back-to-back, and we did this one in back-to-back too, but not in my favor.
I always appreciate calling your shot, whether it works out or not. I appreciate the gusto of it. So,
in both of these games that I've played thus far on the channel, it's been a bunch of really good competitors, so I don't think that saying it can be gotten into is unfair on anyone's account for sure.
So in this Grand Championship, you brought back, I believe it was, if not the same deck, a similar deck
This time around, I was playing a Bolas Citadel deck as well, but this one was a Tivit Cellar of Secrets.
Yes, which didn't have to follow the Halloween deck building restriction. So
Yes, no, I was trying to do the deck building restriction of beating Coval and Cook, but didn't go that way.
So tell me your experience with this tournament. It was quick. It went off in 2 matches. However, there was a lot happening in the second match.
Yes, there was definitely a lot of give and pull, especially in the second match when I think tensions were getting a little bit high. It was a lot of fun, though. There was a lot of really fun tensions going on in the game. Cook and Koval, I played with them both a bunch. They're both really excellent players in CEDH and beyond. Jen, I have played with a little bit less often, but I know that Jen is a really good builder. I knew that Jen was going to come with something that wasn't quite like within the most competitive bracket of the meta, so I knew that I have to keep my eye on Jen, and her coming in with the 4/4 infect was definitely big money for sure. It was a really wild ride. It was like as expected, not what I could expect.
Well, once we begin our second season, I would love to have you back so that you can once again try to claim the mountaintop and take an Iron Deck Grand Champion.
Oh, I got to. I got to come back and claim my title. We got to get that 1-2 punch. I can't settle for just to let somebody punch me first and then go 1-2 back at him. We got to go full 1-2 on this. I'm definitely coming back as often as you'll have me.
The flawless victory has been...
Absolutely. Yeah, we got to bring it to him.
Moderately Anonymous, thank you so much for being a part of our first season of Iron Deck.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a wonderful time.
I am here with Jen from the Filthy Casuals to speak about the Iron Deck Grand Championship. Welcome, Jen.
Thank you.
So you came to us with a hard-fought win with Rodolph in an overwhelming tide of creatures. And then, in our Grand Championship, you faced off against 3 of the most proficient CEDH players in our little magic sphere. Can you talk about that experience?
Yeah. The CEDH game was quite the learning experience. It was very different from casual play, but it was great. I mean, I learned a lot. I got to see things that I didn't understand and got to ask questions that everyone was happy to answer. It was quite the experience. I enjoyed it.
They were an inviting group. So you brought Infect, which is something that is close to my heart. I like that pivot. How do you feel Infect fares against the wilds of the CEDH metagame?
I think it could have done better had I built it a little bit differently. I think I could have had a chance because none of them were expecting it. It definitely surprised them, which I really enjoyed. To me, it felt like let's bring an alternative WinCon to a CEDH match because maybe it'll do something. And I think the most I was able to do was 4 points of poison to one person.
I
think with more proliferate, it could have helped.
Yes, there was one point where it was starting to get a little dicey as you started to drop your poison counters on the table, and one person in particular.
Oh yes.
So I would love to see you return in our second season if that's something that you would be up for. I'd
like that. I could do that.
I especially like the term filthy casuals thrown into this CEDH mess. And you were certainly coming from the pod that was the strictest deck building restriction. And I think you made a good account of yourself among these luminaries of the CEDH world.
I sure tried. I didn't want to make it easy on them.
So I would like to thank you for joining us in our Iron Deck tournament. Thank you for being one of our champions. And hopefully next season we can have you return and once again travel to the top of the mountain.
I would love that. It's been a great experience. Lots of fun.
We are here with our Iron Deck Grand Champion, Brian Coval. A very impressive 2-0 victory against the other Iron Deck champions. Brian, please talk to me about your victory?
Well, there was a lot of trash talk coming in, and I didn't want to get trash talked again. I've been dealing with that for several months from my friend and colleague, Mr. Cook, who came in hot at the start of these games, talking additional trash. And I told him I wasn't going to punt this one to him, and I didn't. So that's that.
You took the most difficult path in that you had to return through our Iron Deck Bad Beats tournament and then triumph. Can you talk about the hero's journey?
Yeah, if we go back and study the tapes, we see me discard a unused mind break trap to Bryant's game-winning Wheel of Fortune in my first appearance. Could have just played that, but I got tempted by the idea of a fresh 7 cards. And what is Bryant going to win? Bryant going to win right now? He sure was. So a mistake spiraled me into a pit of despair. I lived in darkness for a long time. I didn't know how to come out from under it. And then I was invited back, a glowing ray of sunshine from your gigantic hand, reaching up to me and saying, "There's a Bad Beats tournament. Would you like a shot at redemption?"
Yes. If memory serves, the hand you drew with the Wheel of Fortune was 6 black cards and a Force of Will.
That sounds right.
To also
It was very bad.
drive it home.
Yep.
But now
It was a bad time.
here you are at the top of the mountain. The winner, the grand champion. Could I entice you when there are 3 more grand champions to return for the ultimate prize?
Absolutely. I would like to defend the top of the mountain. I think that's an essential component of holding any title belt, is that you can be challenged for it. I don't plan to rest on my laurels. You put 3 more opponents through the grinder, or 12 more people through the grinder.
12.
Get me 3 more opponents, and I will destroy them.
That is what I want to hear. So hear this, opponents. If you make it to the mountaintop, destruction awaits at the hands of our first Iron Deck Grand Champion, Brian Coval. Thank you so much.
Thank you.